Hi, I'm Ruth from Science Made Simple. Today we are going to be thinking about how we can bring the best of you to your presentations. We're going to be looking at a couple of things: our bodies, our voices, and how we might use props to engage an audience. At the end of this video, I'm going to set you a little activity, a little video that you can record that you can then use to share on social media and hopefully become a part of European Researchers' Night with the Intersections team. Where are you going to do your presentations? You might be presenting to a camera, or you might be lucky enough to actually have an audience in front of you. If you're going to be presenting in a space that's new to you, I would definitely recommend getting there earlier, having a look around, getting a feel for the space, listening to how your voice bounces off the walls around you, anything you can do to make you feel more comfortable about being in that spot. Before your presentation, it's always a good idea to do a little bit of a warm-up. So we're going to start with a physical warm-up, and we are all going to have a go at playing the enthusiasm game, and I want you to join in. Picture this. We've got a scale of enthusiasm. We're going to go from 1, which is not enthusiastic at all the way to 10, which is the most enthusiastic you could possibly be. Okay, now you've got that scale in mind. I want you to think of an everyday activity that you do. Something simple, something physical. So it could be you brushing your teeth. It could be you washing your hands. It could be you typing on a laptop, anything like that. I'm personally really a keen climber, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to think about climbing as my action. Okay, now you've got it. I want you to start doing it at just a normal level. So this is me climbing, and we're going to call a normal level, a normal everyday activity, a 5, okay? Now I want you to think about showing me a 2. What does a 2 look like? So I'm now, I'm only climbing a little bit. I'm tucked over a little. I'm not really looking at my audience or the camera. I'm looking a little bit worried. I'm looking a little bit sad. Now think about a 7. What does 7 look like? So now I'm putting my shoulders back a little bit. I'm taking up a bit more physical space, and I'm looking at the people in front of me. I seem to be smiling. And now give me a 10. What does a 10 look like? Oh, so much movement, so much enthusiasm. Okay, and stop. Why do we do that? It's hopefully a fun thing for you to try, and even more fun if you can try it with other people. It's something to get you moving a little bit and maybe smiling a little bit as well. Next, I'd have a think about something you really love in life, something that gives you warm, squishy feelings inside, or maybe gets you really excited. That's the kind of passion, the feeling that we'd like to bring into your presentations. And often people find that they feel like they're being really enthusiastic in front of an audience, but you don't ever come across quite as enthusiastic as you think. So have a play with it. We thought about using our bodies enthusiastically. Now let's think about our voices and have another warm-up. My favourite warm-up is called mangoes, bananas. So we're going to say those words, mangoes, bananas. And as we say them, we're going to use the opportunity to really stretch our faces, stretch these muscles in your face, and also project your voice as well. Try and push it out. So, mangoes, bananas, mangoes, bananas, mangoes, bananas. Something like that. And you can try a little of A, E, I, O, U, A, E, I, O, U. Anything like that to get your muscles moving, and again, hopefully to get a smile on your face. Now, I wouldn't recommend that you necessarily do these things in front of your audience. Maybe there's a space that you can go off and do these things before you get onto your stage. When it comes to actually delivering your presentation, think about your voice. What makes a voice really engaging is some variety to it. And what do we mean by that? Well, it could be about how loud your voice is. It could be that you are really passionate about it, so you're loud and people can hear that. Or even better, at times, talk really quietly. Those quieter moments, surprisingly, can pull an audience in more than when you're being really loud. Which brings another point up about getting your audience attention: amplification. I would always recommend amplification, especially if you can get some hands-free amplification. So a lapel mic, this one here, or you can have a headset mic. That will get people's attention. They'll see you with the mic and be like, that's someone to listen to. But it also will help everybody hear. You can have the best message, the most thrilling presentation in the world, but if people can't hear what you're saying, it's not going to have the impact that you would like. Okay, so we thought about volume. Another thing to think about is pace. How fast or slow your voice is. That's something that we can actually test with you. So all you need is some text. That could be in a magazine or a book, so something that's already wrote down, and you are going to read it out loud as if you were presenting. So it really doesn't matter about what the words are, it's just you presenting them as you would normally. So draw a line, start from that point, give yourself 15 seconds, and once those 15 seconds are up, draw another line. Count how many words you've managed in that 15 seconds, how many words you managed to say, and then times that by 4. That will give you your words per minute. So, what is the magic perfect words per minute for you? Well, there really isn't one. On average, we say something like between 100 and 120 words per minute has been shown to be more engaging, but we want you to experiment with it. We want you to have a little play around. You need to find what is natural for you. And you also need to vary it as well. Sometimes you might be talking really quickly because you're really passionate, but then you want to slow down your words. And that will bring emphasis to a point that you want emphasis in your presentation. So maybe even think about what you're going to say, where you want their attention to be the most, and slow it down. So that's what we mean by pace. So we have thought about our voices. The next thing we're going to think about is the use of props in demonstrations. So what do I mean by a prop? It can be anything. Your audience can even be your prop. You can get your audience to do something as part of a presentation. If you've got something from your work, something you use every day, or something that's quite unique, even if it's really small, something like that can be really engaging. It can bring your audience in. I do a lot of presentations about sound and music, so I've got a really simple prop here that I use. So I've got a straw and some scissors, and all you need to do is, this is what I tell my audience, you snip one corner off, you snip the other corner off, and you end up with a point like this, like an arrow, and then you flatten it down and you put it between your lips and you blow. What do you think is going to happen? Brilliant. So we've got a sound. Next, I'd ask my audience to vote. What's going to happen to the sound if I cut the straw shorter? Is the note going to get higher, or is it going to get lower? So put your hands up if you think it's going to get higher. Hands up if you think it's going to get lower. And hands up if you just don't know. Okay, that's fine. That's brilliant. So let's try it out. Something to watch out when you're using props. Think of health and safety. Is there any risk in you cutting this? Can you bring an audience member into your prop? So I often get someone to cut with the scissors if it's safe. There you go, your prop from your work can be anything. Next thing, I don't just want you to think about a prop from your work. I also want you to think about a prop from a hobby or a passion of yours in life. When we're putting together the little activity, the little video at the end of this today, you are going to try to share a little bit of the person behind the research. So you're going to talk a very short little bit about what your research is, but then you, as a role model to the next generation of researchers, are maybe going to share something you are comfortable sharing. I've already mentioned today that I am a keen climber. So my prop might be a climbing shoe. So how are you going to use your prop? Well, if you hold your prop like this and you move it around too much, nobody's going to notice it. They're not going to know what they're looking at. And so keep it still. And the other thing is, nobody's going to know the importance of looking at it if you don't look at it yourself. So make sure you take a moment to look at your prop, to check that everybody can see your prop. If you are presenting to a camera, or maybe you've got a camera set up already and your object is quite small, you can think about moving it closer to the camera, turning it slowly, so everybody gets a really good look at your prop. Okay, that activity, I promised you something that you could easily record. So we've got a suggested script, something along these lines. Hi, my name is, insert your name here. I'm studying how hand sanitizer is effective at cleaning a surface over time. But I'm not just a researcher, I'm also a keen mountain climber, or rock climber, as is the case here. Come and join us for the European Researchers' Night. So that's just a suggestion of something that you could say. So it's a little bit about your work, a couple of sentences. It's a little bit about something that you really love in life, and that's all it needs to be. If you put those videos together, that would be absolutely wonderful. You can share them on social media. Please get in touch with the Intersections team and they can help you with that. And they would love to have these videos to share as part of European Researchers' Night. Thank you so much for your time today. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you found it useful. Thank you, everyone.